Yes, hi there, good morning. It's Jovi again at Peter 2 in London. It's the 19th of July. Time is now approaching 10 o'clock. A quick market update, as always. Yesterday was a case of more records for the safe haven currencies and more shame for the pigs, the PIGSs. The Swiss franc, now that remained everybody's favourite place in order to restore the value of wealth amidst continuing perils of owning other major currencies such as the euro, the dollar and also the UK pound. The Swissy fell to a record 0.8033, that was now retraced to 0.8206 versus the dollar. Euro Swissy dropped to a record low under 1.14. Now gold, that was in sparkling form, in stellar form, as investors piled into the metal, climbing to $1,610 an ounce. That was 2 weeks up almost 8.2%, 11 consecutive weeks of gains. Silver, that was up to $40.73. Again, that's up 15%, well, in fact 18% in July. So again, very, very good records for the precious metals. In contrast, bonds. Bond spreads for Europe's highly indebted economies widened significantly vis-à-vis the bunds to new record wides. For example, if you look at the Italian German 10-year and the Spanish German 10-year spreads, they were out by another 30 basis points at one stage. Greece, Germany, that was a further 65 basis point wider, while Portugal was out by another 15 basis points. The European banking shares were pummeled again, with the Stoxx 600 banking index declining to its lowest since early 2009. Turning briefly to the Aussie, now that has been struggling in recent days. One reason being the flight from risk that has been triggered by the latest episode in Europe's sovereign debt crisis, with significant money flowing into safe havens such as the yen and also the Swissy. However, there are signs that the recovery down under is not so rosy. If you look at the job growth in Australia, it's very, well, in fact it's negligible. House prices are falling in major cities and consumers are saving more now than they did and have done for the last 20 years. The Royal Bank of Australia, they came out and said that growth in the economy will be weaker this year, and that was also reflected in its minutes that were released. And also one of the major banks over there in Australia said that the central bank could even lower rates this year. So it is not looking rosy at all for the Aussie dollar. Now turning to the sterling, the UK pound. Now for some time the major driver of the pound weakness has been the precarious position of the UK economy. Now if you look at the combination of declining disposable incomes, unprecedented fiscal austerity and also elevated government and household debt, this has resulted in a severe contraction for private sector demand for decades. Now with the Bank of England debasing its currency through its asset purchase program, there's little wonder that the sterling has gone down, in fact depreciated significantly. The pound is easily the worst performing currency over the last 3 years. However, there could still be some bad news. The old phrase of bad news rising for the pound, and that could present itself namely via the political uncertainty that's going on in the UK. Now question marks have been raised over Cameron's judgments in light of the phone hacking scandal that's engulfing the UK. Already has had numerous arrests and resignations within the News Corporation. Now over the weekend the Commissioner of the Met, Sir Paul Stephenson, resigned over his decision to employ former News of the World Deputy Editor Neil Wallace, who was also arrested. Now Sir Paul, whilst resigning, took a swipe at Cameron for his deeper relationship with Andy Coulson, who also has been arrested. On Friday, Downing Street published records of meetings that Cameron had with key representatives of News Corp over the past year since he became leader. And now the public perception of Cameron has been damaged credibility is worsening. Now, no one suggesting that the PM will resign. Okay, I think he will survive this current episode, but quite frankly, his reputation has been damaged. Thus far, the pound has not factored any sort of risk premium for the political uncertainty, but given how key figures seem to be falling on this horse quite rapidly, and also the coalition government, crumbling somewhat, well, who knows how this will play out for the pound, so watch this space. For more information, log on to our website, www.beta2.co.uk. Have a good morning.